When I gave birth for the very first time, it was astounding to experience my body just doing birth without any conscious effort on my part. These abilities had laid dormant my entire life up to that point, so it was incredible to see my body just act on pure instinct. And while our bodies are more than capable of giving birth without external assistance, there are 5 common mistakes I see when women are preparing for an unmedicated birth. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to avoid when preparing for a natural birth and how you can make your experience a good one. But first, my name is Maria. I'm a Lamaze certified childbirth educator and owner of the app Natural Birth by Echo, a free resource that helps natural mamas like you achieve positive, unmedicated birth experiences. Okay, the first big mistake when preparing for a natural birth is selecting an unsupportive provider. You can read all the birth books, do all the preparation in the world, but if your healthcare provider is a jerk, you're likely not going to have a good birth experience. For example, my sister in labor was yelled at by her obstetrician, push harder, hold your breath. I mean, literally yelling. Tragically, this is common practice for a lot of healthcare practitioners. However, this hostility in the birth room is damaging to the mother as it robs her of the calm environment she needs in order to labor in peace. Many obstetricians, even midwives, will also pressure you to induce, get IV fluids, repeat a cesarean. Even if they support natural birth, they often push these unwanted interventions at the end of pregnancy to protect themselves from liability. At that point, it's too late for you to switch providers and you're stuck with a provider who does not support your wishes. All that to say, vet your birth team carefully. Ask them questions, verify their answers, ask about their personal induction rate, VBAC success rate. How do they feel about different pushing positions? A big red flag is if they dismiss you in any way during pregnancy, they are going to do the same during your birth when you are vulnerable. So make sure your provider is 100% supportive and has experience attending the kind of birth you want to have. Okay, the second biggest mistake I see is when moms don't think about the location of their birth. And I'm not talking about the pros and cons of a home birth versus hospital birth. No, I mean the literal setup of your birthing location. How is the lighting? Do you have soft music, comfortable bedding? Does everybody but know to speak in soft voices? Ambiance is everything. A 2019 Danish study found that moms who labored in sensory rooms with low lighting, calm music, and a cozy atmosphere were less likely to experience complications and more likely to enjoy a spontaneous vaginal birth. And if you want more details on how to set up a calming birth space, whether that's at your home, your hospital, or the birth center, the Echo Natural Birth course has the best research-based hacks, and I'll link it below. The third big mistake when preparing for a natural birth is assuming it's all on you. It's not all on you. Yes, you're the one giving birth, but women need support, whether that's dad or a doula or both, your best friend. You need to have support. And a lot of mamas assume, okay, they assume one of two things. One, that giving birth is something they do, so dad doesn't really need to get involved. That, or they assume that dad will just magically know what to do, how to support without any preparation. Okay, don't assume either of these. Birth is not something you should have to do alone. Get dad involved, take a birth course, learn which breathing and relaxation methods work for your relationship dynamic well before the big day arrives. Research shows over and over again that mothers who receive continuous emotional support throughout labor are less likely to require interventions and more likely to enjoy a positive birth experience. So do not skip this. Birth is not all on you. Get the support you need. Okay, the fourth mistake I see when preparing for a natural birth is not taking a birth course, or just taking the hospital birth course, which honestly, it might be worse than not taking a course at all. Why? Taking a course, a good birth education course, makes you 35% less likely to need a cesarean, less likely to be induced, more likely to breastfeed and achieve a positive birth experience. Knowledge really is power. A course will walk you through the pain management strategies you need, how to avoid interventions, how to get dad involved, how to push effectively so as to lessen vaginal tearing. And if you are in the market for a birth course, mine is linked below. The course follows my own pregnancy journey as I use the very tools that I teach to you to achieve my own second amazing natural birth. Now, what about a hospital birth course? Why on earth would that be detrimental to your birth experience? While hospital classes are cheaper, they are largely geared towards teaching you how to be a good patient. You learn all about the interventions you will inevitably need and how to make yourself convenient for the hospital staff. In a hospital taught birth course, you hear things like, when the pain is too much, here's how to behave for the epidural placement. Compare that to a Lamaze course like mine, where the phrasing changes to, when labor grows intense, here's how you work with your body to manage the sensations. It's just a different focus. Honestly, hospitals do not care about your natural birth. In fact, by refusing their interventions, you're losing them money. So yes, do take that birth course. It will do you a world of good, but not from the hospital. All right, the fifth mistake I see moms make when preparing for an unmedicated birth is listening to the birth horror stories. Everybody has that one person who had, I don't know, triplets in the car after a 72-hour labor and a 4th-degree tear. Horrific. But this is very rare. Not saying scary things don't happen in birth, but they are rare. I'm going to warn you to tune these stories out. Research shows that moms often experience births similar to the ones they hear about from mom friends and relatives. If an expecting mama has a midwife or a doula in her close circle, she is more likely to experience a positive, unmedicated birth because the women in her life speak positively about the experience. However, moms who are surrounded by women who had scary births are more likely to also experience a scary birth. There is a strong correlation between birth anxiety and birth emergencies. In other words, birth fears are truly a self-fulfilling prophecy. So tune out the horror stories and make a conscious effort to listen to the positive, uplifting stories you need to train your brain to enter labor with confidence. All right, that wraps up the top 5 mistakes mamas make when preparing for an unmedicated birth. If you liked this video, you are gonna love my other stuff, so hit subscribe to get the information you need for an awesome natural birth experience, and I'll see you next time.